and then characters later. When the match first starts and nobody has any meter, nothing has a lot of risks. The most you can get punished with is a meterless combo, and no, you know, even with the deepest jump into the juiciest meterless combo in the game is not going to do that much damage comparatively when people have meter, obviously. So characters that you want to do gimmicks, or you want to be tricky with, or you want to do something that might be risky, you just want to send it and do something that might have a big reward but also has a big risk, put them early. If they're more dependent on meter, yeah, you might want to put them second. When it comes down to your later characters, especially your anchor, you want somebody where you might not be able to do as much. Kind of sounds backwards. Like, so your anchor character, you might think, well, I need to know everything about my anchor character. They should be my best character. I should know everything about them. But really, sometimes in this game, ever since KOF13, your damage has been tied proportionally to your meter. You have no meter, you do no damage. You have a lot of meter, you could do a lot of damage. The first round, especially the first 10-20 seconds of that round, when nobody has any meter, combos just they don't do any damage, you know? Like, this is all, you know, 15%, maybe 20% off a jump, and maybe a little bit, you know, you're not going to get much. And then once people start getting EXs, it starts to ramp up. And then as in the later matches, you know, KOF13 people had HD mode. In this game, you have people with really strong 2-bar max modes, and everybody has a 3-bar max mode that at least does over 50%. It's just universal. As the match goes on, you're going to have less opportunities to make mistakes. So people might say, well, your anchor character should be your best character. That sounds like good advice, and it is good advice. Best could mean anything. So you might think, well, I need to know everything, every single little trick, every single little gimmick or setup with my anchor character. And sometimes in this game, the opposite is true. You might want your anchor to be a simple character, right? I mean, look at Terry when the game released. He was just, you do a low confirm into max mode, or you do the overhead. You just play around forcing that overhead low mix up. And it was really simple and really safe because the overhead was safe and it was really high reward. So it might end up that your anchor character is actually the one you do the least with. You might just be playing around, just landing, fishing for a certain hit confirm, or just forcing a certain mix-up that's really safe or something along those lines, and not doing all these gimmicks and setups and all that, unless maybe you need to make a comeback and you need to take the risk. But ideally, you don't want to have to do that. And then rule number 3, your anchor should be able to break defense. Now, there's other ways to put this, like your anchor character needs to be well-rounded because you might have to make a comeback and reverse OCV somebody to win, so you should be able to deal with a wide array of matchups, like every matchup in the game, because you might have to play against either point, middle, and anchor with one character. But really what it comes down to is this. Your anchor should be able to break somebody's defense. It doesn't matter what playstyle they are, really. It doesn't matter if they're a grappler or a zoner, or they're well-rounded, or they're a rushdown or a defensive poking character. They gotta have some way, some applicable way, some practical way, or ways to break your opponent's defense. Like command grabs, overheads, cross-ups, or guard breaks, right? So even if your character's all mid, you play someone like Yashiro, if you can force them to block a bunch of stuff, you can threaten a guard break with, you know, doing a bunch of safe commits. Some way to come back. So, and most characters in the game have a pretty good ability to do this, but some it's tough.
Yeah.
Now, Kane's a good example of this.
Pick the top
Character doesn't have a
You want to win, yo? Pick
Yeah.
the fucking top tier.
I don't even like Balrog like that no more, man.
Just pick them. Yo, pick the top tier.
He switches all the time.
You ever notice the top tier player?
These days. These days he's just switching.
Yeah, he's the no. Now I think he's Kami Akuma.
Yeah. Like,
But that's good. You have to have that. You know, I mean, yeah, you want to mess around with other characters, but look at Japan. One character forever, till death. One character.
Look at all the people that the characters. The top players are winning. A lot of the reason is because they know who the best characters are and they go to them.
Yo, I went to Japan. Yo,
No,
hold on. Real talk.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep that shit so real right now. You and Arturo are the two only people that I thoroughly respect. That just picked your characters when the game came out.
Yo,
Like, you always stay with the guy.
I am. I respect that. I respect
Arturo
that.
always stayed with Dolphins.
That's good shit, Sanford.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't just run at them because they were like really good characters. They always played them in other games. I ran the top 10. So I keep it real. I ran the top 10. Fuck it. I'm tired of Ken. I'm tired of like outplaying somebody and then they just a miraculous ultra and then they fucking like beat me up. What's close matches? I'm tired of that. I want to have priority, just whore it out,
Damage.
and just get the free damage. I'm tired of it. I'm working. Who wants to work?
Ways to break the opponent's defense. Although she did just get a couple buffs, they gave her a cross up. So I mean, you could land an ambiguous cross up maybe, and she can do overhead in the climax. But she doesn't have that many setups for these things. It's still, you know, she doesn't have a hop cross up or anything super threatening. This thing, the threshold is 3 bars, and you can't hit confirm it, and it does less than 40%. It's not the most practical character to come back with, right? She can deal with any matchup for sure, but if your opponent has really good defense and you're trying to come back, especially against multiple characters, it's going to be really hard to land hits against them in neutral play. You have to catch them, you have to get in, and then you have to somehow apply a mix-up. You know, I mean, King gets you in the corner. Well, there goes your ambiguous cross-up. Then you have, what are you going to do? Throw them out of the corner and then try, you know, you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. You really want your character to have something, or maybe multiple tools that you could do something to come back if you need to. So we can look at a character who just has like everything, like Eeyore. You know, he has command grabs into damage. He has his hop cross-up that you can break somebody's defense with. And he even has an overhead that probably everybody will block. But really, this is just the most important thing to consider for your anchor. You've got to have some way to break somebody's defense. Even if the matchup sucks, it's fine if the matchup sucks, as long as once you get in or whatever you need to do to set up your win condition, you can apply a mix-up and do damage to your opponent if they want to be defensive. Now, let's put tips, things to consider. Play your anchor first. I don't care if you play Antonov and he really can't do that much stuff without meter. Play him first. The main thing is you just want to get playtime on them. Like I was saying before, the pace of the match speeds up as the game goes on. You do more and more damage. The last round, round 5 of a match could literally just be a 2-touch. That happens all the time. 2-touch, 3-touch, maybe 4-touch at worst. You know, even if you're winning every match, you don't get a lot of playtime. You might land just 2 or 3 hit confirms, and that's it. You don't get a lot of experience playing that character. So even though your anchor character, you should be playing the most tight and compact and not make mistakes and all these things, you're going to have the least amount of playtime on them. So you gotta play them first just to get playtime on them. And if you really want to go in depth, you can play online training mode, especially like I said, Antonov's a good example. You can play online training mode with meter, and you could just play around with like 5 bars. You get a buddy who can play with you, or go in Discord, a Discord fighter. Play a repeated set of just playing 5 bars versus 5 bars, anchor versus anchor, and play that over and over if you really want to get better with your anchor and anchor position, because there is something to be said. Playing Antonov on point is not the same thing as playing Antonov on anchor. Even if you get the max mode, the combos are all different if you're playing point versus anchor. But at least at the very least, switch around your order, and especially, I don't think it even really matters that much switching around your second, because you'll get some good playtime on your second too. But your anchor, you got to put games on him. You got to play him first just to get time on the character. Number 2, here's something maybe you didn't consider. Zoners can go second. They can go second. Why can they go second? So let's take the previous example of King. When you lose your first character, let's say you lost this is like worst case scenario, you lost your first character and you got perfected. You literally just got perfected. So you start the second round, you're down 1 character, and you and your opponent have 100% life. Well, if you just take it one round at a time, your opponent and you have equal life. So, and you don't start point blank with your character. You can play your zoning game. And as soon as you have the life lead, you can play your game. Albeit you're gonna play it with more meter on the table. So every mistake is gonna cost more. But, you know, King has a invincible anti-air. Joe can do anti-air into super. So it goes both ways. If your opponent, you know, if you get a life lead, you get one poke, and then you play defensively and your opponent does a bad jump, they're gonna pay more for that bad jump than they normally would. And then also consider that the timer in KOF is it's not 60 real seconds, but it's much shorter than most modern games these days. You can time out people in KOF. I don't know, like, you can run the clock. Everybody thinks about KOF as this rushdown game, especially in this game where you can't instant dash block. A lot of matches get into, a stalemate situation. Nobody wants to commit. It's sometimes hard to get in on some of the pokes in this game. Team's got one stand CD, hard to get in on. She's got a good anti-air down C. She's got an invincible. This is an invincible anti-air. This is an invincible anti-air. So you can play defensive. You can run the clock. You just have to get into the mentality. If you are at a character deficit, you need to be able to slow the match down. A lot of people can't do that. It's hard to do. It's something I have a problem with doing. Like if you get annihilated the first round, you might feel like, oh, I gotta play even harder. I gotta come back. I gotta make the comeback, and then you just make more mistakes and you just go further in the hole. So you gotta be, if you want to play a zoner second, you gotta be able to reset your mentality and say, okay, I can slow the match down. But the upsides of it, let's say you lose the first round, but you don't get perfected. You're fighting their second. You come in with full life. You're fighting their second character. Well, you already have a life lead. You're a zoner with a life lead. So again, even if you're at a character deficit, you have the life lead. If you can just slow yourself down and play your game, you are automatically playing at an advantage for a zoner when you start the second round. And then, of course, best case scenario, you win with your point character. You start fighting their second character. You can take a bunch of calculated risks with very little life, knowing that the best they can do is just take this much life off of your point character. They did their job. They did free damage, and then your zoner comes in and you still have control over the match. Don't just go and just assume that your zoning character has to go first. Another good thing to consider: what tools do you gain with meter? So some characters really gain valuable things when they have meter. Not just damage. Damage isn't really useful. Let's use Athena for this example. Another zoning character. I think she's more of a runaway, hit and run character in this game. She has EX Phoenix Arrow, which is safe against everybody but grapplers, and it's really annoying. And it leads to damage on hit into a setup, and it's really annoying to deal with. She also just got buffed. She has an EX teleport that's completely strike and ball, and it's also really hard to throw her out of it. It's really annoying to deal with. These are moves that you can use in neutral that let your character go into turbo mode, and you might want to have a surplus of meter to be able to use this stuff. Shunei is another good example. His air dash buff, this air dash is really fast and really good. You might want to have some extra meter to be able to use that stuff in neutral. Ramon's a good example. EX drop hit, EX frick it, as I would say. This thing gives you a big combo on counter hit, and it gives you a knockdown on normal hit. And it kind of doesn't have that much recovery, and a lot of times people are really going to get away with this thing. And then when it hits on counter hit, you get a big combo. Look at that. Look at all this. Look at all this. 45% to do a random move in neutral, right? You can have one bar to do that. So you might gain tools in neutral that you just normally wouldn't have. But don't take it too literally. You do have to judge the effectiveness of this stuff. So using Kyoin as an example, Kyo gains something, his EX command grab, that he normally doesn't have a command grab. He only has this command grab when he has meter. But this is all you get from it, right? So this isn't super core to Kyo's game plan. You don't need this. You don't ever need to do this command grab. So you might have to use your own judgment to decide how useful these kind of moves are to you and how much they turbo buff your character's neutral. And then what becomes less useful with meter, I'll say, on the table. Once the game gets going, once you're in that second, third round and on, you get past the stage of the game where you're just playing like hit for hit. You know, when you like I said before, when you're in the first round, especially the first 15, 20 seconds, whatever, before you even have EX meters, a lot of single hits are really useful. Like look at Clark's overhead is fantastic. This is the kind of thing you would love to have as a point character because combos aren't doing a lot of damage. You're doing a lot of you're going a lot of, you know, maybe you're hitting random jump CDs, maybe you're hitting like random air to airs. You don't even have the EX tackle to convert off of it. Something like a raw overhead that you don't have the ability to combo off this at any point in the game. This move's value goes up when nobody has any meter because you're doing your combos. You know, the combos in the game do, 20% at most, right? So an overhead that does almost 10% is pretty good. When the combos are doing 35%, it becomes less valuable. And it goes for everybody who just has something that they can't, something like that they can't combo off of. Like Nakaruru and Darley both have overheads. They're pretty fast. They're airborne. They're pretty good. They're just little bits of damage. But there are things that you might want to use, and they just become a lot less valuable when you can't max cancel them or they can't convert in anything. Another thing to consider when placing your characters on point versus later in your team. Things that are susceptible to guard cancel roll. I'll even capitalize it. When you're playing on point, your opponent doesn't have meter, or they're not going to have a lot of meter, and when there's no meter in the game, things that are punishable by guard cancel roll become pretty valuable because your opponent can't guard cancel roll them. So almost universally, all the projectiles in the game, if you cancel into these, and your opponent uses guard cancel roll, they are punishable, right? So, if you're playing a character on point before anybody has any meter, you don't have to worry about that. So I'll just use Rock as an example. Everybody's seen this kind of pressure. When they block that fireball, look up in the left-hand corner and see a little blue plus sign. Rock's advantage on block. Might be something that you want to use as Rock. You want to freely use this fireball pressure and be at advantage and then keep, pressuring your opponent. Well, if they have guard cancel roll, you really can't just rely on this stuff because if you're predictable, you can get punished, right? And even if you're playing them on point, let's say your opponent gets that 1 bar of meter. Well, even if they use it the guard cancel roll to punish you, their punish is going to be a meterless combo. It's not going to do that much damage, worst case scenario. So if you want to be able to just cancel in the projectiles or other things that are unsafe versus guard cancel roll willy-nilly, you want to do, King CD in the fireball without thinking about it, or you want to do Rock RC in the fireball or his fireball pressure, maybe you want to play that character on point, or maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you just care about Rock's like hit confirms, like jump CD pressure into command grab mix up or whatnot. And you don't care about the fireball pressure. That's something to consider. Now we'll come back to the consideration of your anchor needing to be well-rounded because they have to deal with a lot of matchups. You don't necessarily need to be able to play your team in any order just to get the specific matchup, because KOF isn't. The matchups aren't so important that they're going to override the team order that you're used to, especially for most players that don't play for thousands and thousands of hours to play every matchup and where every minute nuance of a matchup really matters. Your order is usually going to be set because most players are just going to be comfortable in a certain order and playing their characters a certain way, as I've outlined in all these points here. But you might want to play your team in a certain order, avoid certain things. Since the meta is evolving, this new season 2 patch just came out, so we don't know that much. But let's use an example from last season. So Cronin Anchor was the best anchor. So characters that aren't good against Cronin, you might want to just keep them away from the anchor position. So we'll say anchor should be comfortable versus any character. We'll put it that way. It's not so much it's like a good and bad matchup. It's as long as you are comfortable playing the character versus anyone. So last season, this doesn't apply now. In fact, there are certain aspects it definitely doesn't apply now, but let's say you had Luong or Yuri. Now again, I'm using the previous patch as an example. These things are really not even true anymore. For example, like Luong, her stand CD lost clean to Cronin 2C, which it does not now. It beats it clean. It's completely reversed. I mean, Luong's splits the game is now probably superior to Cronin's, but at the time, that was true, so you had a hard time fighting him on the ground. You had to gas jump over his 2C if you wanted to punish it, but Luong's jump is slow and floaty, so it's really hard to do that, and Cronin can, good Cronins are just going to wait and EXTP you and do a ton of damage. And also, Luong is a character who might want to be in the air all the time to these flick kick mix-ups. Cronin didn't care which side you were on; he would just EXTP. So it's very, you probably want to keep Luong away from that character. Same thing with Yuri; she's a character that benefits from, using her jump D and using her air fireballs and things like that, and having air mobility and getting in and having a way to rush the opponent down. She was going to have a hard time versus that character. Her range is pretty short, so she could, she didn't have a lot of options. Maybe you could sweep his 2C, but his 2C lands, he gets a full combo. This lands, you just don't get anything. So as season 2 goes on, and we start to see which characters are the most common in the anchor position, you might want to keep characters that are not so good against those characters out of the anchor position. And if you're going to worry about this, I would only worry about this for the anchor versus anchor situation. I wouldn't worry about it in any other scenario. Like if you have, like, let's say Ramon doesn't do well against Yamazaki for whatever reason. You have Ramon second, and there's a bunch of Yamazaki anchors being played. If your second slot Ramon makes it to Yamazaki anchor, Ramon has done his job. You don't have to worry about that stuff. It's really not worth considering in terms of that. You don't have to take this to its extremes. And even in the same slot, like point versus point, middle versus middle, it doesn't matter that much. If you lose that match, you have the safety net of the rest of your characters, the rest of your team to fall back on, so it's not that big of a deal. And then lastly, a couple mistakes I see people make when deciding their team order. Not really mistakes, but like things that they consider that sounds like it might be important, but really isn't. We'll say common pitfalls, I guess. It's just There's little things that like non-issues that you might think are an issue. We'll say, how do I word this? They do a lot of damage with meter. Someone has said this. People have said this or typed this many, many times. This character does a lot of damage with meter. I'm going to put him second or last. Everybody does a lot of damage with meter. The more meter you have, meter is damage in KOF15, and it has been ever since KOF13. So if you have two characters, and one character's max mode combo does 65%, and the other character's 3-bar max mode does 55%, you're like, oh, well, this one does 65%, I'm gonna put him on anchor. That 10% damage does not matter anywhere close to as much as all these other things. How applicable, how easy it is, how practical it is to land that damage. Everybody does a lot of damage with 3 bars. Everybody does at least over 50% with 3 bars. And yes, some characters do a significant amount more with the same amount of meter, but that alone isn't, all these other things matter infinitely more than just these numbers. Your team is not a math problem. Don't worry so much about the damage, worry about the playstyle and how you're gonna get that damage and how you're gonna play the character in the match for the situation that you're in. And then lastly, adhering too closely to the meta. I almost spelled that wrong. Too closely to the meta. Now, Season 2 just came out, so we don't know the real meta, whatever it is, if you care about this sort of thing. So I'll just use something from last season as an example. Let's say you play Yashiro, and you play Yashiro on anchor. Well, if you watch top player replays, most of the time you saw him on point. Like 95% of the time, if you saw Yashiro, he was on point. And you watch these matches, you might think, well, shoot, I'm doing this wrong. I'm playing on anchor. I should be playing him on point. They're playing on point. They're the best players. They're trying their hardest to win. They're picking the best team. So this is obviously the way to go. Well, but part of the reason you didn't see any of those top players play Yashiro on anchor is because Cronin existed. Cronin had the anchor slot locked down. There was no choice in who you played anchor because Cronin was the only choice if you were playing the meta. So unless you're playing Cronin, the rule of playing Yashiro first doesn't apply to you because you can't skip the steps, right? You already broke the first rule of playing the meta. You're not playing Cronin. You can't go to the next. You can't go to step 2. It's like, okay, well, who do I put in my first 2 slots? Well, I have Yashiro and this other character. Well, Yashiro is good on point. I'll play him on point. You can't ignore the first step. So once you're not playing Cronin, those rules don't apply to you. So if your team is like King, Robert, Yashiro, 99% of players, if you ask them, hey, what team order should I have? They're going to tell you to put Yashiro on anchor on that team. Anybody who plays the game is just like, yeah, Yashiro's your anchor on that team, obviously. So, I mean, that might sound obvious, but some people would see this sort of thing. Cool on point was really common for a while, and then a lot of top players, they moved Yashiro to point and put Kula second because they thought Yashiro was good against Kula, and a lot of people play Kula. If you're not adhering that type to the meta, don't invest too heavily in the specifics of what you've seen top players play if they're not playing your exact team. And let's just go over what makes a good point middle anchor, what to look for. I mean, most of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, and I'm sure you've heard it all before, but it doesn't hurt to have it in here. So point character, what makes a good point character? Not reliant on meter. Duh. You all know that. You don't need meter to play them. Whatever their game plan is, you can apply it effectively without meter. We've already gone over this. What is that game plan? We could say for like a more offensive character, a grappler, rushdown character, whatnot, repeatable offense. Say hard knockdowns, pressure. Right? I mean, it doesn't have to be a hard knockdown, but like let's look at Clark's a great example, right? Like every time he grabs you, he gets a hard knockdown. You can just get in your face and start mixing you up, right? He doesn't need meter to do this stuff, right? Even if he lands something like this, not a hard knockdown, he still gets right back up in your face. So it doesn't have to be a hard knockdown. It just has to be something that allows you another opportunity to get in on your opponent, right? Where he gets hard knockdowns without meter, you can put him anywhere. This is one of the reasons he's good on point. You get in, and then he has all these mix-up options. He can command throw your opponent, do damage, mix him up, if another hard knockdown gets in, so on and so forth. Okay, so then what if you don't play a rushdown character? What if you play like a zoning character? Well, for control sets the pace of the match. Zoning, poking. Right? It doesn't have to be like a fireball DP or whatever, but like King can play her game plan without meter, right? She has a good jump CD. This is actually good kind of defensive air or something like this. Down C is pretty good at air. Throw fireball, zone, poke, right? But it doesn't even need to be like a character with a projectile. It can be like Benimaru. That's a good example. He has an EX projectile, but he's not a zoner. But you got neutral jump D to keep him out. He's got a dragon punch. The Raijin has a lot of active frames to keep him out. These things can be very annoying in neutral. He has this, he can do this and check dashes. Now he can hit confirm it if you're sharp. So and poking with stand D, like so on and so forth. Benefits when playing hit for hit. I just like saying hit for hit. It's like single hits. Say single hits, like not combos, right? So like I went over before, like the overheads that you can't combo from, right? So I'll just use King as another example of this. I mean, this really just ties to the other 2 points. It's like she just cares that even with her buffs, she doesn't have like the most godlike, high damage efficient confirms in the game, right? So when both characters don't have meter comparatively, that's not much of a disadvantage because people aren't getting a lot of damage from their confirms. And she's got very good poke. She got CD, right? Her zoning game. She's got this overhead. You can only cancel this in level 3 now. It's not very practical, but by itself in a point character situation where no one has meter, otherwise you're never going to come off this overhead. It's airborne when you throw it out. It's not very risky. Just something hit for hit. You're just getting single hits, and it benefits some characters over others, or benefits a playstyle of some characters over others. Say middle characters. And I'll say, now we'll keep it middle, because honestly, middle and anchor have a lot of things in common. Just a couple differences, really. Gains, tools. I mean, we already went over this with meter, not damage. Say like, and let's even say more practical stuff, like not like movement things. Command grabs. I'll just say command grabs, etc. We'll use If we use like Clark or Shermie for this example. So Clark EX command grab has a lot of range. Look at that. And yeah, command grab's sort of risky. They can jump out of it. It has a long whip animation. You'll get punished. But that's like 35% from a command grab. It only takes 2 EXs. You even get a little meter gain in the middle of it. So it's, you know, you want to put Clark second just so you always have that on deck. It's worth the risk, right? You can make it worth the risk. Same thing with Shermie. She does a ton of damage. Shermie, this EX command grab is very threatening with some meter. Even with a bar and a half. By the way, this is way easier now. You have to dash before that course back A. It's almost 40% bar and a half with a 1-frame EX command grab with quite a lot of range. You'll run, you know, you get people to freeze up in neutral, run up. It's worth the risk, right? It's a little bit of risk. And again, last season a lot of people played Shermie on anchor. She was pretty solid even in the middle. You could honestly play her against Cronin and make the risk worth the reward. So it just depends how it balances out. And then add to that, let's say, you know, okay, so like that kind of stuff is a bit of a risk. So we'll say risky plays that require meter. Now, run up command grab isn't like the riskiest play of all time. So maybe that's not a good example. Let's just use Ramon. I've been playing Ramon lately, so this is in the front of my brain. So you know, YOLO EX dropkick is pretty good. Look at the damage for the meter. It's only 1 bar, 2 EXs. Holy moly, it's 45%, right? But you know, you can't, you know, you might get away with this, but you could also get punished with this, and this is probably not something you want to stake the match on. So, but it takes a little bit of meter, so you might want to put Ramon on second. And to go to the first point, he's a character who doesn't really have repeatable offense without meter, because without meter, really all you can combo into is his command grab. It's kind of a pain to combo into. His far jab doesn't cancel. You have to do something like this that I'm having a hard time doing, you know, and you just get a little bit of damage. He can't even really effectively combo from lights until he gets meter, so it's something you might want to consider. And lastly, the point about playing a zoner second, zoning with meter. Let's use Joe as an example. I haven't used Joe yet. And most people play Joe on point, but to go back to what I was saying about playing a zoner on second, you could still play the zoning game and just use that meter to convert your zoning into damage. That means there's a new buff for Joe. I mean, look, it's over half their life for 1 bad jump. So that might be something to consider if you're having. And so there's a new buff for Joe. Still play the zoning game and just use that meter to go on point. But to go back to what I was saying about playing a zoner on second, you could still play the zoning game and just use that meter to convert your zoning into damage. That means there's a new buff for Joe. I mean, look, it's over half their life for 1 bad jump. So that might be something to consider if you're having trouble rearranging your team. Maybe you have 2 characters you want to play on point. One of them is Joe, or one of them's Athena. Athena's another good example. Athena's a character where, yeah, she has some zoning, but it's kind of hard work because
I think it's really cool that they have the basic mechanics throughout the entire franchise. I think that's really unique to have people basically playing the same thing, right, for all of this time, just changing up some of the fundamentals here and there to spice things up, essentially. I think that's a cool method they're going for here. It seems they've been successful doing it as well. Oh, I vanished. Everything changed. And the green screen tapped. For better or for worse. You probably gotta do a down-up motion. Okay. What was that situation? Bruh, nah. She does a super to stay. It's just doing instant overheads over and over again. That was insane. I didn't think they had pressure like that in this game. Like, I heard about the hop pressure, but that sequence was insane. I kind of got to get my hands on this. Pretty sure I'm blowing past the 13 requirement. Yeah, I'm sure I will need to spend a day for this. Dang, no pressure, it can never be changed. Good. Let's do it.
The King of Fighters, 15.
That sounds lit. Dang. It closes the whole game? You know, I was thinking of running Terry Anchor. From that guy's video too, I was thinking of running that King Lady mid, and then I just give me like a set play point. Somebody I can get frisky with. But that's only if Terry still has that 50-50.
KOF.
If he doesn't have that 50-50, I'm not trying to play him. Keep it a bug, I'm not trying to play him. I like mix.
Registration. Select member. Whoa, check it out! A new challenger is ready to brawl!
Dang, this is kind of busted. I don't like how loud it is. It's the sound effect.
Registration.
Oh, I had to get everything. I'm not trying to play these games. If one of these characters is ridiculous, I will be playing them.
Your skills to the test and show us a battle worthy of legend.
That's not. I will not. This guy looks like Kahlua. Is that a pillow? I think it's pretty dope to get on that launch. Yeah, 50 roster. I never even really thought about that stuff, man. I'm like so ridiculous. I'm so locked in to fighting games that it doesn't even. I'm not even thinking about how much they cost anymore or how much the DLC is. I'm just like, which ones do I have to buy to not buy duplicates? That's the only thing I'm worried about. That was the only question I asked. There was never a question of which, like, what characters I was getting. I was getting everybody. Just the other day, I got Tekken, and I played it for a week. That was still fun though. I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of Azucena, but I didn't play enough. I actually need to make and post a video on that. As a matter of fact, I might do that right here, right now. Right here, right now. Okay. What is going on, you guys? This is not Tekken anymore. We are now playing KOFXV this week. Yeah, man, I can't even talk about my first impressions of the game because we are so new. I literally watched like one guy on YouTube. I'll put that in the description below. And we're in it. We're in it. We have the game up, and we're about to get in there and try to. I really want to try to have a team by the end of the night, and I do want to try to play, just practice in training mode, and then just do like the hopping and such. But if I'm being honest, I think I might just want to get right in and get all of like I want some dirty, basic stuff, basic characters, basic game plans. That's not true. I want basic combos. I want the easy characters of the kind of archetypes I want to play, but I do want to play those archetypes. I kind of got lucky with Azucena. She's kind of an OP character from what I was understanding. Like, a lot of her hits leads into other things that she gets pressure from and such like that in her stances and all that, the way she was transitioning. And she was easy. Everybody kept yelling at me if she was easy, so even though I was like panicking because she had 2 stances, I still ended up like... I have a good understanding of what she does, actually. I have a good understanding of what she does. I know her combos. I don't know... No, I know her basic combo that I can do off of basically everything. I don't know the ones for launches specifically. I don't know those optimized combos, but I know enders and such, and I know the strays. I have an understanding of like how to do the normals that I want to do. I understand that about a little bit more about like how defense works in that game and such too. It's constant 50-50, which is insane. I never thought Tekken would be such a offensive game. Like I didn't think of it in that way. But if you're plus, you're in danger in that game. If you're a plus, you are in danger. They are attacking you actively. But yeah, basically that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience over the game. I'm supposed to be posting like an entire video and stuff. I haven't, Street Fighter week, we didn't even play Street Fighter. What was the week after that? I'm looking for my notes. Guilty Gear, I have that stuff recorded, just not made into a video. And then this is Tekken. Well, no, we're done with Tekken week. It's been 3 weeks, oh my goodness. And yeah, we have Tekken done. I haven't posted a video for it. I was supposed to work on it and post it Saturday. That just didn't happen. We're getting things together, all right? Eventually we'll have a flow. I have the footage regardless, so even if it's down the line that I get back to it and I just focus on the here and the now, you will see that eventually. I have like this super... I bought this thing. It has 8 terabytes, which I'm kind of upset about because when I opened her up and I turned her on and everything, she had 7.26, 7.29 or something like that. I should have took a picture because I was like, hey, that's not 8. I've never felt more like a consumer in my life. I was like, that's not 8. But I didn't even ask for it like a refund or anything. I literally have the receipt here and it's right here. So like, but I felt like I already kind of got a good deal on it. I was looking online, this thing was like $300. I found it at Walmart for literally $100. I was like, I'm already stealing from the store. So I'm not about to make a fuss. I downloaded every single game in my Steam library and I've recorded it for literally 24 hours one time, and I still am at like 5.8. Like, their terabytes is so much space. We have so much space, dude. I'm not tripping over anything. And I plan on like posting stuff so I can delete like raw footage. The reason why I want to do YouTube and all that, this is a time capsule for me. I never realized what it was that I wanted to do. I just don't like taking pictures like that, but I just feel like this is a more advanced version of that. And I feel like pictures never really capture me. Like a picture can say 1,000 words. Yes, it's an external. Don't at me, Lupa. Don't at me, bro. Like, not right now. Don't do this to me. But yeah, man. I really want to try to capture things as I go along, and I feel like I'm already behind because I already have like wrinkles and stuff coming into my eyes. My hair started thinning and such. Like, I'm getting old, and I'm like, I can't. There's so much I have to do. So we have to start doing it now. Like, I'm out of time.
We have to start now. That's why we're doing all this, and we're running, and we're just falling on our face as we go along. And we're 3 weeks deep, and I haven't posted a video in like, oh my goodness, but it's fine because I'm getting my life together, all right? And we're making this happen. I shouldn't be talking about this. I got another. I'm back in the air. The eagle was taken off. That's all I'm gonna say. Taking off again, and this time I'm really trying to do it for real, for the third time. All right. The real ones know, but yeah, I am. That was my first impressions of Tekken Week. I kind of have an idea of Azucena. I haven't played a single game online, and I'm not gonna play Tekken for like 2 months. This is my schedule, my boy. This is the schedule. This is what we got right now. Yeah, this is what we're planning on doing, and that's what we're planning on sticking to. Y'all want to see my dreams? I'm about to hit this like Luffy. You know, he just kind of laid back and talked about it. But yeah, this is the goals, man. Yo, ignore this. I'm trying to figure out the fifth one. I can't really, but right now I got Walk the True Path. I got some paintings over here. I would love to show you guys, like some of the stuff I made. But yeah, man. This is what we're trying to do. This is where we're trying to be. And a lot of it has overlap. Like, I picked dreams that are very close together. So, yeah, man, that is the plan, and we are moving. That is the plan, and we are moving actively. Luckily, I already know how to play Street Fighter. I already know how to play Guilty Gear Strive. Like, that was the big saving graces. Tekken was the first game I had no idea how to play, and I had to try to figure it out. And it was overwhelming for me. I'm gonna be quite honest. It was very overwhelming. But I got to a place. I'm very proud of that. And I actually feel pretty confident going back into it. Like, I feel as soon as and plus I can, technically I'm not allowed to play the game anymore, but anytime I'm off or you know, if I find extra time and stuff, I can just boot up the game and play again. Anytime it's a Sundays I don't do anything. I have no obligation to do anything. Those are my free days. I freed myself of everything. On those days, if I feel like streaming, I'll do it. And I'll play Tekken. Or I might just play Tekken offline. I don't know. Sunday Marcus gets to decide to do whatever he wants. And no one can tell him no. Okay? Yeah, I think that's it, man. I basically, there's not really a lot to report on the first week of Tekken. Man. I'm just gonna raw upload this too. Like, y'all might not even get the outro. Dang. All right. Yeah. Never stop learning. Literally. This schedule is about to be crazy. And the goal. Maybe I'll make a video talking about the goal, but because Lupon is here actively right now, you guys get to hear it. I'm trying to get out of pools for all the games, every single one. Well, honestly, I feel like you can get out of pools as Dragon Ball taught me anything. You can get out of pools with a good game plan. If you know how to run your game plan like good, effectively. You can get out of pools. You can just steamroll people. And if you lose, you're just trying to get out of pools. You're not trying to win the tournament. You're just trying to get out of pools. Even if you get out in losers, that's a W. So I just need to set play some people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to, in every game, I am trying to not interact. Please don't. I'll play you in neutral. But after I hit you, dog, let me just dial it in. I'm not trying to play with people. I'm not. I'm trying to get out of pools. Yeah. I'm excited, man. This is so fun. I actually have another channel I want to do too. I want to start doing reaction content because this is probably going to turn into a vlog or something like that. I don't know what this is going to turn into, Or maybe the other one will. Who knows, man? I'm not planning nothing. I'm just operating at. This is a time capsule, so we'll see. You'll see with me. All right. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? What was I? Second channel. Yes. Reactions. Thinking of watching Dragon Ball. I haven't really gotten to talk much about the passing of our great. And I don't know if I really want to, you know? I don't feel like I didn't know them personally and such. They just really heavily inspired me, you know? But like, man, I would rather do something instead of just kind of venting about it. My brother called venting farting. And I watched a game, a healthy gamer video on it, and they used the same analogy. So I don't know if they got it from them but it was just crazy coincidence. So yeah, the whole analogy was if everyone's just passing, this is getting really gross. The point is to turn it into action and turn whatever negative emotions you have into positive. Use it. Literally use the energy that's created from it in order to get yourself out of whatever situation is creating it in the first place. But when you vent, you're releasing that negative emotion. So there's nothing. There's not enough fuel to get you to use it, and then that becomes a habit. And the more you need to vent and such, it starts to take away time and such from your day. Which I
really hope you weren't talking to me.
I wasn't really thinking about that all that much, but. What's good? My boy just hopped in here. Yeah, I was talking to the people. I was making a quick little video talking about last week with Tekken and how we're moving on. I guess is like an update.
Oh, are you
I hate
streaming
update
or
videos.
recording?
By the way. I really do. But yeah, I guess that's basically what this is. So,
Are you streaming or recording?
I'm doing both.
Understandable.
I'm doing
I'm gonna
both.
be in and out because I'm making dinner.
Say was good, alright.
All right.
But yeah, that's my boy. That's it for me. Never stop learning. It's never over. Do you guys want to see my follow and my subscriber widgets? This is gonna be so embarrassing. I recorded these so long ago. Oh, it's not playing because I don't have an alert box. Alright. Please come and watch. I guess this is going up on YouTube. So I check YouTube. I might be I'm probably streaming now. I'm actually probably streaming now. I'm gonna be doing this basically every day. So yeah, check it out. You literally go down or wherever and check out whatever I'm playing right now. I'm probably playing an Evo game because I literally have to all the time or I will never accomplish my goals. Yeah. Wow, we're covering a lot. Maybe I should talk about trying to do membership for Patreon. Whatever. I technically don't have one. On task.
Hey, Stu. What's up?
I made these so long ago. Like it's funny now to me. But this is some of my best work up here. Look at him go! Isn't that cool? So, come to the stream. I'm probably literally always doing this. There'll always be something to watch on this channel. I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me. All right. Hey, you should say something. I want you to be in my time capsule. I can't believe that you've supported me for so long, and I really do thank you from the bottom of my heart, my boy. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy that things have just gone down the way that things have gone down. That man said, get Mortal Kombat off the schedule. I'm reading his comments right now. That's insane. It's at Evo, dude. I gotta play it. That's hilarious. All right.
upload that. Hey, Stu! What's up?
Thank you. Are you serious? That's kind of a lot for me. Oh, it's already. No, this is kind of tough. This is kind of tough. I'm trying to make a thumbnail real quick. Proximity throw? This game has proximity throw? Oh my goodness. I knew it, man. Old games and their weird throws. Fine, I'll learn. Goodness. You literally never stop. It's never over. Oh, perfect. We really banged that out. That was nice. I knew this game was busting. Busting. Out. The speaker is on the ground.
Registration. Select member. A battle unlike any other is about to begin.
Well, now, again, I'm just looking for...
You'll just have to kind of... Hey, Jamie, a 15 hour documentary about KOFXV. So I would watch the old one for context, and then watch the new one right after. And it can give you what tools you're looking for, and because it's very helpful. It really contextualizes the word like your life. Your value situation.
You're breaking up a lot. It's kind of hard to hear you.
Watch those videos. Steal the just videos that I will be saying that. Alright, so bro, what are you gonna do? Take your time.
Alright. Woo! I've been called many names, but Alpha has not been one of them. I can get murdered out of context with that. Understanding your catching your drift. The emojis are pretty funny though. Let's see. We are learning King of Fighters. 15. Okay, this is. Excellent. Okay. So much stuff. Okay. It is quite rad, isn't it? Let's start some characters, man. I really want to try to have a team by the end of the day. So I would love to get like I kind of have an idea of a team I want to do. I think I'll try a battery character with a. Give me a battery. Give me like Terry Anchor maybe, and then I don't know. Again, just somebody point. Let's do that for now. No. Go back. Did I accidentally pick? I wanted to have 3 characters. How do I do that? Okay. So in training mode, you just play one at a time. I get that. Makes sense. There's no swapping anyway. Open. Hello?
Where you going?
Mi madre es en la casa.
Excellent.
Well, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. Can I call you BF? That's funny. Fisher. The only other Fisher I know is Derek Fisher, and that guy's a legend. So you gotta be good in my book. Speaking of books, I need to find a book on character overviews or whatever. Where's the Dustwood, man? I'm running out of time. Like at 12, I'm calling it. I gotta go. I'm trying to do as much as I can. Where's the Dustwood? They have to have a dust suit, right? Of course. It's an evil game. They have a dust suit. Team Fatal Fury. Okay, Terry Anchor all day, baby. Terry Anchor, let's do this. Smack that man down there. No cancelable far standing normals. I don't know if I'm playing Terry Anchor, man. Well, he has a fireball though, and he has mix. Yeah, bro, I'm playing Terry Anchor. I'm trying to bust the wolves. That sounds so sick. I never got to do it with the actual guy. I'm gonna do it right now, actually. That sounds so sick. Oh, I didn't know I wanted to play this game. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I do like me a little bit of KOF. I watched him fight that one guy in the animation. Somebody posted on the internet. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I played Terry a little bit in Smash. I'm sure it's the same. Somebody catch me on the street. I gotta go.
Oh, pop max mode. What are my controls? Don't need talk. That was last week. This is a new week. we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. Dang, I'm actually pretty proud of that. I didn't think I'd like this so much. Diabolical. I'm about to get diabolical in chat. What the heck?
Because her heavy punch DP, it goes under people a lot. If you don't have the right range, like maybe, you know, worst case scenario, this happens, right?
Oh, it's Guilty Gear Throw. You gotta be right on them, forward heavy, huh? Oh, so medium for forward throw, heavy for back throw. Okay. Hey. 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 Oh, I said medium thinking about Street Fighter. It is heavy punch. Light punch. I didn't think this game was a 4-button fighter. Okay, I guess I'm crazy for thinking power dunk was the punch input. And that, I guess I'm also crazy for thinking rising tackle would be kicks. What the heck, bro? That's... Dang, Terry, your job is quick. Is plus on block? Can you be crouched? Okay, Terry. Can't be crouched. Dang, Terry. Dang. Is the crouching one plus on block? Yes, sir! I see you, Terry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Terry. I can definitely get a safe jump off that. I love me some safe jump. Woo! Oh. I got a super hop, don't I? I can't tell if I'm doing it right. Woo! Hyper hop gets you there. Nah, KOF kind of fun. Nah, I need the hyper. Yep. I can time it just like Dragon Ball. Oh, he recovers hella fast. Very fast, pardon me.
I can tell I need the hyper hop in order to get the throw mid screen. I might be able to get away with just forward jump though.
What are you doing?
Trying to find some plays, some set plays. Some set plays.
Uh-huh. Oh. Sweet platter.
Max cancel and block.
Thanks.
Oh, you can.
Hey, look up. Hey. Wow, this is gonna hurt! Can they survive?
That's what they meant. This punch is looking very familiar. I think I know how to use one of these.
No problem.
So 6A is Terry's crouching heavy punch. Goes into everything. I can win.
Watch him. Watch him.
Is this alone?
Watch him. Watch him. Watch him.
I might be able to get out of pools, dog. With this? With this right here? With this right here?
Watch him.
A little bit of this, a little bit of this,
Watch him.
and a little bit of back and forth into this. Yeah, a little bit of back and forth. Got a little bit of fireball, a little anti-air. A little back and forth in the wind punish. Oh, I think we can get out of pools. Hold up. Already, I think Terry, I got him. I get it. Is this is your high? This man is literally TN. That's hilarious. Or TN is Terry, I guess. Because TN plays the same. He staggers you with, threatens you with the instant overhead constantly. Does just enough damage. Then go low. Oh, it's only half a bar.
Are you okay?
Dang, it's only one.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Power them! Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Right on! Wow, this is gonna hurt! Are you okay? Crack two!
Yeah, it's literally this and the stuff. Oh, I'm trying to use a normal that doesn't exist.
Are you okay?
I got.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. I think it might be time to wrap it
Tired?
up soon.
Going to bed?
Yeah. I think so. I got a lot though. Learned a lot already. And yeah. One character down. One character down. I learned like half of Terry today. Just half.
How many are you trying to pick up?
3 characters. So, have half of one. Need to get 2 more. So I'll do research on who I would like to play, and then we'll hit it hard tomorrow.
Nice.
Thank you. I'll catch y'all. Peace.